Allah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. What is the value of la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah? Do you know? No. The Prophet ﷺ said, you should keep on this parade. Is it parade like a parade? La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Because it is a treasure beneath, yani under the throne of Allah. That means we have to mute our phones. That means it's a big reward, big reward. Just like want to give you good news. Alhamdulillah. The 3 lectures about تأكد من الفوكس إذا مظبوط. The 3 lectures about خشوع في الصلاة had been uploaded already as one package. So inshallah they are ready. They are ready for you to use, to download inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khairan. We reached, this is the halaqah number 26 of Tahawyah. We still have 1 halaqah inshallah and we're done. Today we're going to touch 2 issues, the grave and the qadar, and the last one will be about the companions. Our Ahl Sunnah's belief regarding as-Sahaba radiallahu anhum. So we start now by saying the punishment of the grave may be sufficient. It may suffice the person from the punishment of the fire. It may not. But it may also. Because the person, regarding his sins, he may be purified from his sins by difficulties, tragedies, problems, okay, in life. So that will be purifying him from his sin, which is better for him. Also, it may not purify him enough, so this purification will be continuing, okay, in his grave. So there is no punishment in the hereafter. Or he'll be punished in both life, grave, and even in the fire. If Allah willed not to forgive. But the end of every person who is classified by Allah that he is believer must be in Jannah. Look, there are hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said, for example, the one who refer himself to other family other than his family, the Prophet said Jannah is haram on him. The leader that cheats his people, okay, Jannah is haram on him. But he may be Muslim muwahhid. Muwahhid, you know the meaning of muwahhid, right? You know the meaning of muwahhid. Muwahhid is the one who worships Allah alone. He worships the one from wahid. Wahid is one. Muwahhid is the one who worships the one God alone. Okay? So, if that person whom the Prophet said that he will not enter, Jannah is haram on him, how do we understand that? Well, in the contrast, we find the Prophet saying that the one who say La ilaha illallah, Allah will make the fire haram on him. So we understand the second just like we understand the first. Because our understanding of the first, that even the Prophet said that fire is haram on him, it means it is haram to remain with it, that he remains in it eternally, endlessly. And the one who cheat his people or commits certain types of major sins, whom the Prophet said Jannah is haram on him. Yes, Jannah is haram on him until he gets his portion of punishment. Then he will enter Jannah. But the Prophet didn't say it precisely here. We take all the hadith together. We don't take this hadith while we forget the other hadith. The same person who is muwahhid, the Prophet said that fire will be haram on him. And he is the muwahhid whom the Prophet ﷺ said Jannah is haram on him. How can we bring both hadith together? It's easy. When he said fire is haram on the muwahhid, that means it is haram to remain in it eternally. What is the evidence? The evidence is in Surah An-Nisa, ayah number 84. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَنْ يُشْرَكَ بِهِ. Allah does never forgive that a partner is being associated with Him. But He forgives less than that means less than shirk, to whom He will. So this is it's an open thing by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He forgives beyond that. He's saying Allah will never forgive. No forgiveness. But there's forgiveness less than shirk, to whom Allah wills. If Allah forgives, does He punish? If He doesn't want to forgive, does He punish? Yes. If at the Day of Judgment does not forgive, He will punish. But even if He punishes, there must be difference between mushrik and muwahhid. If we say that the muwahhid will be eternally with the mushrik, where's the difference between shirk and tawheed? We can't say that there's no difference. We can't say that the one, for example, who committed a major sin is equal to the one who said, I am better than him, you created me from fire while created him from clay. Who's that? Yeah, they can be equal. We are judging by the justice of Allah, by the law of Allah. There is no way for those two to be compared, to be equally treated. Muwahhid, he deserves to be punished, yes. Allah may and may not forgive. But mushrik, no. This is the law of Allah. No forgiveness for mushrik. But Allah did not say there is no forgiveness for the muwahhid. He didn't say that. And there is no ayah in the Quran, and this is what we challenge. There is no ayah in the Quran that Allah said about any muwahhid that he will not get out of fire. All the ayat that talk about people whenever they try to get out of the fire, they will be returned, it's talking about kuffar, not about muwahhideen. Why do we explain this? Because the Khawarij were able to deceive emotionally the layman people, and they were easily joining them to their groups, just like that. So we have to be careful about this. But as for the kuffar, the punishment of the grave may be a part of their punishment. And the other part where? Where? In the fire. What is the evidence about the punishment of the grave? النار يعرضون عليها غدوا وعشيا ويوم تقوم الساعة أدخلوا آل فرعون أشد العذاب. The fire, it's being explored to them day and night while they are in the grave. While they are in the grave, they will be able to see the fire which is waiting for them day and night. Where is that? It must be before what? Before the Day of Judgment. Because Allah said, then after that He said, وَيَوْمَ تَقُومُ السَّاعَةِ. Then when the hour occurs, أَدْخِلُوا, put in the people of Fir'aun in the greatest punishment. And some Sufis, shameful, like Ibn Arabi, he said, do you see Allah talked about the people? There's another ayah. Allah said, يَقْدُمُ قَوْمَهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ فَأَوْرَدَهُمُ النَّارِ. He'll be leading, Fir'aun will be leading his people. Then he will be by himself throwing them in hell. So Ibn Arabi said, do you see? Fir'aun, because Ibn Arabi believes that Fir'aun is saved by Allah. No punishment on him. Then they said, look, the ayah says he'll be leading them, then he'll be putting them in hell. See? The ayah doesn't say that he'll be leading them into hell. He'll be throwing them in hell, but he will not be with them in hell. Can we believe that? Fir'aun will be saved and his people will be... He's the first one that deserves to be punished. How do you say that? That reminds me of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as he was looking at the corpse of the people of Quraysh, the leaders of Kufr in Quraysh. One day before the war of Badr, the Prophet said, this is the place where Abu Jahl will be. This is Abdullah bin Utbah. This is Ibn Shaybah, etc., etc. He was naming every person among the leaders of the kuffar and pointing on the exact place. The companion, he said, Wallahi, their corpse did not pass the drawing line of Rasulullah for each one of them. Wallahi. They did not exceed the line, the Prophet ﷺ. So as he passed by the body of Abu Jahl, what did he say? هذا فرعون هذه الأمة. This is the Fir'aun of this nation. So how can the Prophet resemble Abu Jahl to Fir'aun, but Fir'aun is saved while Abu Jahl is not saved? If the Prophet made him the symbol of Fir'aun, how can one person of this ummah defend Fir'aun himself? How come? الطحاوية said, وَالْقَبْرُ رَوْضَةٌ مِّن رِيَاضِ الْجَنَّةِ أَوْ حُفْرَةٌ مِّن حُفَرِ النَّارِ. The grave is either one of the meadows of paradise or one of the pits of the hellfire. That's beautiful. This hadith, by the way, that the grave is either a garden, a piece of Jannah's gardens, or a hole among the holes of the fire. This is the grave. Do good in order to decorate that hole and make it better. You're going to be in that hole. Enjoy. Drink Nescafe. Take some biscuits. Enjoy yourself for a little. The grave. Look. We're stepping, every new day we're stepping to that grave while we don't proceed. We're making our steps, thinking that we're going deeper and deeper in life. No. Every day is a new step to that hole. Someday, one will be saying to the other, let's get reward by throwing the sand on him. We'll be rewarded. And you will be there. Alone! Don't ask about your loving wife, how much she loves you. Can you ask her to spend one night with you there in the grave, in the hole? No, my dear. You stay there. I'm going back. 2 things follow the dead. 3 things, sorry. 3 things follow the dead to his final destiny. It's wrong to say final destiny, because this is not the final. This is the station to the final. Because people say ma'wahu al-akhir, mathwahu al-akhir. No, this is not the final destiny. This is a step. This is a station. This is a station. This is a station, yeah. It's just like going to the bus station there, taking the bus to go to your destiny. And the grave is there. You're taking the bus now to go there to the final destiny. So 3 things will be following the dead: his family, his property, and his actions. 1 will remain, but 2 will return: his family and his actions, right? Yes? His actions.
Yeah.
I just want to know. I just want to make sure you're with me, or maybe thinking about the whole. Yes. 1 thing will remain, and that is his actions. 2 things will return: his family and his property. I know your son loves you too much, but you can't stop him from calculating what is his portion after you died. Okay? You're striving to collect, then he'll be taking it easily, what you've been striving for. Now don't be enemy to your children, come on. I'm sure this is the sunnah of life. That's normal. This is the sunnah of life. You know, some people prove that they love life. They want to commit suicide, so they're thinking about what's going to happen to those who love them. They're going to cry for them. They want to kill themselves deliberately, so they'll be crying for their death. We used to be thinking like that when I was young. Naive, really. That proves that we love life. He said also, وَنُؤْمِنُ بِالْبَعْثِ وَجَزَاءِ الْأَعْمَالِ ويوم القيامة والعرض والحساب وقراءة الكتاب والثواب والعقاب والصراط والميزان. We believe in the resurrection after death and the recompense for our actions on the day of judgment, and the presentation of deeds, exploring your deeds, and the calling to account for them, and the reading of the book of deeds, and the consequent reward or punishment. And we believe in the bridge over hell, as-sirat, and the scale, al-mizan. Explanation: there is no one that will be discussed details, but he is perishing. That is a sign that he is perishing. There must be a punishment. When he will be discussed, well, you did that, why? Why did he do this? Why did he do that? That caused a big confusion to Aisha radiallahu anha. She said, didn't Allah say that there is easy hisab and difficult hisab? فأما من أوتي كتابه بيمينه فسوف يحاسب حسابا يسيرا وأما من أوتي كتابه وراء ظهره. There's another ayah. Yeah, so the Prophet said, ﷺ, this is the presentation, the exploring of the deeds. Whoever discussed the hisab, that means he'll be. Whoever, the Christian believe that Allah forgave people by the death of His Son. It's a very corruptive belief. It's the core of encouragement to do it. It's the core of encouraging people to do the evil. Yesterday I was tweeting with an evangelist, and I was saying, if I want to be a Christian, but I can't guarantee that I'm not going to stop. I can't stop fornication. So am I forgiven if I become Christian and I keep fornicating? He said, no, we shouldn't. God loves you, but when you love God, you can't do that. I said, look, there are many Christians, but they're doing this. They said, oh, those are not Christians. I said, subhanallah, Christian Khawarij. Those are Christian Khawarij, because they are saying, for those who commit major sins, they're not Christians anymore, they're kuffar. This is Khawarij, isn't it? But Christian type. So I said to them, oh, wait a minute, so I'm not going to be a Christian. Because if I commit adultery and I'm Christian, I'm not Christian, I'm not going to be Christian. They couldn't find a way to answer. Then they said, you'll be punished. I said, oh, who's going to be punishing me? The one who died for my sins will be punishing me? The one who died for my sins, who's going to be punishing me? Jesus? But you said that he died for my sins. Then how can he punish me for the sin he died for me? How can they answer that? No one. It's corruption regarding the matter of rewarding and punishing, regarding the matter of judgment. I mean, imagine, let someone sue me, for example, for mugging his house. Mugging, right?
Mugging, yeah.
Burgling. أنا بحب البرغل كتير. البرغل قريبة من burgling, huh? So, suppose I'm Christian and I go to the court. Why did you do that? Because Jesus died for my sins. Really? What the judge will be saying to me? Oh, God bless you, you believe in Jesus, he died for your sins, huh? Yeah. Okay, you may go. But wait a minute. The man will be saying, oh, did Jesus die for my rights? He died for his sins? Did he make any death for my rights? Why Jesus was so careful about sinners to die for them, but he did not make any death for the favor of those whom their rights are being taken away? See? Now today we're not discussing Christianity. Forget it. Sorry for drifting you right and left. But sometimes it's important to mention these things. So, this is regarding what? Life. Corruption in life. That will be causing corruption of life, right? Right. What about the doctrine of rewarding and punishing at the Day of Judgment? It completes the corruption. It completes the corruption because it encourages the person to do the evil, expecting no punishment. Because this is what the Bible said to him. And what is worst is when they say that Adam is the source, is the sinner, and people will be having, or they will be carrying the burden of their father's sin. Once I was giving a lecture, and one of the people who believed this, he has a child with him. So I said, so you're not innocent? He said, no. I inherited the sin of my father Adam. I said, what about the child in your hands? Don't you call him innocent child? Isn't he innocent or not? How can you call a small child sinner, not innocent? Because he's inheriting all what they have is really corruption of doctrine. The evidences of the punishment and reward of the grave has evidences from the Quran, as we mentioned the ayah in Surah Ghafir, ayah 46. النار يعرضون عليها غدوا وعشيا. The fire, they'll be explored to it, or it will be explored to them, day and night, morning and evening. ويوم تقوم الساعة. And then after that means after that, when the hour occurs, let the people of Pharaoh enter what? Enter the fire. أشد العذاب, the hardest kind of punishing. And another ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِنَّ لِلَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا عَذَابًا دُونَ ذَلِكَ. As for those who are wrongdoers, there is a punishment less than that. And it was explained that this is the punishment of the grave. The Prophet ﷺ entered the house of Aisha, and Aisha told him that a Jewish old woman came to her and said to her, "Give me sadaqah. May Allah avert you from the punishment of the grave." The Prophet said, "She lied. It is the Jews who are punished in their graves." Then afterwards, not far, afterwards, he was revealed by Jibreel that عذاب القبر حق, that the punishment of the grave is a matter of truth. That means it's general. It's not only for the Jews. It's even for the Muslims. And he said, alayhi salatu wassalam, لولا أن تدافنوا, had it not been the important matter that you bury one another, لدعوت الله أن يسمعكم من عذاب القبر الذي أسمع, I would have been asking Allah to let you hear from the punishment of the grave the thing that I hear. Then he said, تعوذوا بالله من عذاب القبر, seek refuge with Allah from the punishment of the grave. Then they said it. Then he repeated 3 times, and they repeated the dua 3 times. They said, نعوذ بالله من عذاب القبر. And we ordered, highly recommended, to seal our prayer with these supplications. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من عذاب من عذاب في النار وعذاب في القبر ومن فتنة المسيح الدجال. O Allah, I seek refuge with you from the punishment of the grave, the punishment of the fire, and from the fitna of the Antichrist. Is the punishment of the grave a mutawatir issue? Do you know the meaning of mutawatir, brother? Mutawatir? No. Who knows the meaning of mutawatir?
It's countless narrations.
Huh?
Countless narrations.
Countless
narrations about.
Countless narrations. Yeah, mutawatir. Consecutive. Consecutive? No? Not consecutive.
Is it undisputed, like all the scholars?
Mutawatir? No, not all scholars. No, mutawatir means it's
Consequently.
Abundant narrators. Abundant narrators. Some scholars said that when they reach more than to be more than 7 and on, this is mutawatir. Ahad, for example, one sahabi. Ahad means one sahabi or 2 or even 3, and many people had taken the hadith from them. Ahad. It did not reach to be more than 7. Okay? This is ahad, single. But the narrations about the grave are mutawatir, which means
Countless narrations.
Countless narrations. So whoever disbelieves in that mutawatir, he's risking himself to fall in disbelief. He's risking himself. Why do I say risking himself? Because people sometimes out of ignorance, they don't know the horribleness of this issue. They may fall in that because of ignorance. Okay? Right. The Prophet passed by 2 graves, and he said those are being punished in their graves for 2 issues. First he said, not big issues. Then he said, yes, they are big. One of them was walking on namima. Namima is gossip. Is that gossip? That means transferring, not money. Not transferring money. Transferring what people said against one another with the intention of spoiling relationship between people. This is namima. And the Prophet ﷺ said, لا يدخل الجنة قتات. You should control your mouth. When you see 2 people are speaking against one another, they have a problem between one another, then you go ahead and bring what that person spoke about his opponent in order to blaze a fire between the two. This is namima. The Prophet said, the one who commits this kind of sin will not enter Jannah. Also this person, very person, when the Prophet said he will not be entering Jannah, when we comparing him to the ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he forgives beyond shirk. So what does the hadith means now? Until he takes his portion from hell. Or Allah may break his warning. I'm not saying breaking his promise, be careful. Allah may intimidate you, threaten you, that if you do this, your punishment that you deserve is hell. But He may break that regarding you. Is this breaking promise? Yes or no? No, it's not. Why? Allah never break His promise. But He may break His warning. Whoever does this will go to hell. Okay. But Allah may break it. And that's not breaking promise. Be careful. And we explained that before. There's difference between wa'ad and wa'id. Wa'ad means promise. Allah does not break His promise. Wa'id is what? Threatening. So Allah may break His threatening to certain people. But He never breaks His promise to anyone. You got it? Right. So the Prophet said those two are being punished for a not big issue. But after that he said, yes, it is big. What does this mean? Scholars said there are two possibilities. First, he said they're not big issues. Then he was corrected by Jibreel that it is big. Or the Prophet meant to people's perspective it is not big. But with Allah, yes, it is big. You got it? Yes. As Allah said in the Quran, وَتَحْسَبُونَهُ هَيِّنًا. He's talking about accusing people with adultery. He said, إِذْ تَلَقَّوْنَهُ بِأَلْسِنَتِكُمْ وَتَقُولُونَ بِأَفْوَاهِكُمْ مَا لَيْسَ لَكُمْ بِهِ عِلْمٍ وَتَحْسَبُونَهُ هَيِّنًا وَهُوَ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ عَظِيمٌ. You keep transferring those propagandas about someone committing adultery without knowledge. And you think it is not a big issue, while with Allah it is very big issue. So sometimes you think there's something is not a big deal, but with Allah is a big deal. That's the first one. He was going in gossip. The second one, he was not purifying himself from urination. Yeah. Ahlul Sunnah believe in the matter of the grave, except Mu'tazila. Mu'tazila, they put the issue of the punishment of the grave in the factory of their minds. Oh, we don't see the dead. I mean, after we bury the kafir, we open his grave, we don't see anything. What do they say then? They said, oh, then we conclude that the punishment of the grave, which is true, the Mu'tazila did not say that there is no punishment of the grave, but they said it means bad dreams that the dead person sees in his grave. Bad dreams. Psychological occurrences in his soul. Why? So we don't see any trace of punishment. The matters of the unseen, especially when these matters belong to another system other than our system, it should not be under the supervision of our minds. It should not be concluded by our opinion. It is out of our system, out of our world, so we should not be given it any kind of kayf, howness, as you say nowadays. Should not be mentioning any kind of howness regarding that. Then Tahawyah said, والجنة والنار مخلوقتان لا تفنيان ولا تبيدان فإن الله تعالى خلق الجنة والنار قبل الخلق وخلق لهما أهلا فمن شاء منهم إلى الجنة فضلا منه ومن شاء منهم إلى النار عدلا منه وكل يعمل لما قد فرغ له وصائر إلى ما خلق له. Paradise and hellfire are creations that never come to an end. And we believe Allah created them before the rest of creation and then created people to inhabit each of them. Whoever He wills will enter paradise out of His favor, and whoever He wills will enter hellfire out of His justice. Everybody acts in accordance with what Allah is destined for him and is facilitated for that which he has been created. So Allah facilitates to what He created. That's beautiful. Hadith of Rasulullah. Companion said, "Are we condemned for what we do?" He said, "Yes." Then they said, they said, "So why do we have to worry about and everything is distant?" He said, "Yes." They said, "So why do we have to work?" Then the Prophet said, "اعملوا, work, فكل شيء ميسر لما خلق له." For everything is facilitated to what it had been created for. Lovely word. Lovely sentence of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when At-Tahawyah said, وَالْجَنَّةُ وَالنَّارُ مَخْلُوقَتَانِ, the heaven and fire, paradise and fire are endless kind of creatures. There's no end. Many enemies of Ibn Taymiyyah, they may come to you and they say, Ibn Taymiyyah said that the fire will be having an end. It will perish. Fire will perish. And I made many debates about that, saying to those who claim this, I give you 3 years to find from the books of Ibn Taymiyyah something about that. But what you will find the opposite. Ibn Taymiyyah said, and I read it, and I took it from his books, Paradise and Jannah are endless two creations that Allah created. They have no end. The one who claimed that hell will perish is Al-Jahm ibn Safwan, the establisher of Jahmiyyah. Then he said, وَأَهْلُ السُنَّةِ قَالُوا قَوْلًا وَاحِدًا. Ahl Sunnah said one word, yani they agreed on one word, that Jannah and fire have no end. Some people said, yeah, that's true, Ibn Taymiyyah mentioned it, but after that he said something different. I said, subhanallah. How come Ibn Taymiyyah say that ijma'ul ummah, all the scholars from the time of Rasulullah until now, they all agreed that Jannah and fire have no end? Then he'll be opposing what he witnessed? That's a lie. But anyway, you said that he changed his mind? Bring it to me. I give you 3 years. They never were able to find that. I'm giving you my experience, because I'm sure there are people who are given the mission to attack Ibn Taymiyyah. They are given a mission to do that. If they did not reach you yet, it's on the way. In London, there's a lot of problems about this, accusations. But they may bring one evidence to you. There's a book called written by As-San'ani. I forgot the name of the book now. It's about this issue. Al-Albani made tahqiq. You know the meaning of tahqiq? Criticizing? Is that, you said tahqiq? Authenticating. Yeah. Authenticating a book for As-San'ani, who was refuting in this book the claim that the Jannah and fire have end, and Ibn al-Albani rahimahullah made a big mistake here. I love Ibn Albani. He's a great man. But here, la wallah, I disagree with him. He said that this was the mistake of Ibn Taymiyyah, believing this. And wallahi, I read the book from A to Z. And I did not see any evidence that Albani made. Wallahi, not even one. It's a mistake of Sheikh Albani rahimahullah, who is my great Sheikh, great Sheikh. And once I was crying because I was about to see him. I had some messages between me and him, indirect messages. Yani salam, he passes through people to me, and mentioning my book, which I wrote against the Habashis. That was 30 years ago. But I was about to go to Jordan and see him, even for one time, because I loved him so much. There's no cassette at that time, but I heard it for him. But he died before that. But in this, I disagree with him. If he brought any evidence, I mean, at least one evidence. But he didn't. So people say, Al-Albani said, I said, Al-Albani is a great man, no problem. But this is a rule. This is a law. When we talk about someone, I don't allow someone to talk about his mistake. I want his mistake by his book. Isn't this fair or not? So they could not bring any until now. So relax, take my experience. If someone said that to you, tell him, I give you 3 years. Yeah, go ahead and bring. He will not. Okay, then he said, Tahawyah rahimahullah, وَالْخَيْرُ وَالشَّرُّ مُقَدَّرَانِ عَلَى الْعِبَادِ. Good and evil have both decreed for people, have been decreed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Decreed, that means what I do is not by my will, by the decree of Allah. But wait a minute, Allah gave me a will. Is it a formal will? I mean, it looks like will, but it's not real will? No, it's a real will. But His command and His knowledge about you go in coincidence. Coincidence? In agreement. Coincide. Knowing about you what you're going to do, it doesn't mean He's dictating you to do what He knows about you. Is that clear? The matter of knowledge, it doesn't mean that He's dictating. No. You'll be doing what Allah knows about you that you're going to be doing. So he said, وَالْخَيْرُ وَالشَّرُّ مُقَدَّرَانِ عَلَى الْعِبَادِ. And before that he said, yeah. Oh, he said that Allah created Jannah and hell, and each one will be going to each by Allah's justice. Those who enter Jannah by Allah's grace. Did he say by His justice? No. Why? Do we ask Allah, oh Allah, treat us by your justice? No. Oh Allah, treat or deal with me due to your justice. Do we say that? No. If we want to make dua against the kafir, we say, may Allah treat you by His justice. Yes. What is the difference here? If you want Allah to deal with you regarding your actions in justice, you don't deserve Jannah. Because Allah's grace is ever greater than your deeds. So we ask Allah to treat us by His favor, by His grace, not by His what? Not by His justice. He has something more for the believers, more than the matter of justice. Because we know that our actions, no, will never be sufficient enough for us to enter Jannah, unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower us with His grace and favor. I love this hadith. Sheikh Fawzan said a beautiful word. He said, Al-Jannatu tunalu bi'amal. Jannah is attained by action. وَلَوْ كَانَ لَا يَكْفِي. Yani even if it's not enough, but at least there must be an action. The Prophet said, none of you will be entering Jannah by his amal, action. They said, even you, Rasulullah. He said, even me. Unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide me with a favor from him. ألا إن سلعة الله غالية. Verily, most certainly, the good of Allah is very expensive, very valuable. Verily, the good of Allah, His Jannah, is His Jannah. I love this hadith. Oh, and Allah said, always, أُدْخُلُوا الْجَنَّةَ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. Allah says, enter Jannah by what you been doing, by your actions. Enter by. I like this hadith, and I was trying to memorize it. The Prophet say that Allah said, إِذَا تَحَدَّثَ عَبْدِي أَنْ يَعْمَلَ سَيِّئَةً. If my servant speaks to himself that he is going to do an evil, فَأَنَا أَغْفِرُهَا لَهُ مَا لَمْ يَعْمَلْ. Then I will be forgiven him unless he does it. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, how beautiful is this? If he thinks about doing evil, he intends to do evil, I'll forgive him. Unless he do it. So if he did it, فَإِنْ عَمِلَهَا فَأَنَا أَكْتُبُهَا لَهُ بِمِثْلِهَا. If he did it, I will write it down for him by the like of it. Just one. وَإِذَا تَحَدَّثَ أَنْ يَعْمَلَ حَسَنَةً فَأَنَا أَكْتُبُهَا لَهُ حَسَنَةً. And if he speaks to himself that he's going to do good, I will write it to him as a good deed. He's thinking he did not do it yet, even though Allah will write it to him that this is a good deed. Thinking about doing good. فَإِنْ عَمِلَهَا فَأَنَا أَكْتُبُهَا لَهُ بِعَشْرِ أَمْثَالِهَا. If he did it, then I will multiply it. I will write it to him multiplied by 10. Then the angels will be saying, that's another hadith now, which is after this hadith in Sahih Muslim. Oh Allah, this servant of yours, he's about to do an evil. Then Allah says to them, wait for him until he does it. If he did it, write it as one. If he left it, then write it as a good reward, because he left it because of me. Ya Ilahi. How beautiful is Islam? We need to learn these things to fascinate the non-Muslims with our Islam. We're not doing. You think we don't know why Allah is punishing us? We're not seeking knowledge. This hadith is so beautiful. Wallahi, if the non-Muslims will hear this, that will be softening their heart, will be causing their eyes to shed tears. Wallahi, sometimes in some non-Muslim schools, I was explaining things of Islam like that. I swear by Allah, I saw the teachers, women teachers, in the back. Children were in front of me. The women teachers were behind them. Wallahi, I was seeing women shedding tears, crying. We need to learn these things. I like that. If he left it, this is an encouragement for you while you are indulged with your sin, doing something evil. Then Allah will be reminding you, oh, wait a minute. If you stop it, you'll be rewarded. Oh, then let me stop it, I'll be rewarded. Subhanallah. Encouragement. I want you to compare this to what they say. Jesus died for our sins. You hear this? For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish but have everlasting life. Amen. We know this. I've been, struggling with them when I was at the age of the one of you. I was saying to them, for God so loved the world that He sent His Prophet Muhammad, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish but have everlasting life. They said, where did you get that? It's not from our Bible. I said, you created the Bible, and I have to create a sentence. You created the Bible. Who is the writer of Luke? Is he eyewitness to Jesus? I'm going to refer you to. Go to the book of Luke and read the first ayah. The chapter? First verse, yeah, the verse. I don't want to call it ayah. The first verse, you'll find that Luke is sending a message to his Theophilos, excellent friend Theophilos. At the beginning of Luke, and as much as people start to talk about Jesus, I was following these stories, especially from those who were eyewitness to Jesus. So I took these stories from them. So he wasn't eyewitness to Jesus? And he said, it seemed to me. That means, I found it a good idea to write these things. He didn't say, God revealed to me. He didn't say, Jesus said to me. It was a message from a person to his close friend. Sorry for drifting you. What about testing us with evil? Is Allah the creator of evil? Some people say, Astaghfirullah, God creates evil. No. Now you are becoming like those, what do you call that? Magians? The worshippers of the fire. Because they believe there are two gods. God of the light, God of the fire. Two gods. And the creator of the fire is different than the creator of the light. So there are two creators. Where's the creator of evil? If Allah did not create the evil, who's the creator of the evil? Didn't Allah say in the Quran, وَمِن شَرِّ مَا خَلَقَ, I seek refuge with Allah from the evil He created. How can you say that Allah is not the creator of evil? طيب وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً وَإِلَيْنَا تُرْجَعُونَ. We test you by the evil and the good as fitna for you, and to us you will return. Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan said, by this, by the creating the evil will be rendering to the good. The evil will go, but will causing the truth to emerge, to appear, to remain. By this, they will be signifying, this how will be signifying the people of Iman from the people of Kufr. So if creating the evil is not a good matter, there will be no signifying between the good and the evil. Did you get it? There's no way to signify between good and evil. Signify, right? Is there any other word?
Differentiate.
Differentiating, yeah. The last issue here. At-Tahawyah said, والاستطاعة التي يجب بها الفعل من نحو التوفيق. I don't like this statement from At-Tahawyah. I'm going to read it and translate it quickly. It looks like the people of Kalam, علم الكلام. But anyway, الاستطاعة التي يجب بها الفعل من نحو التوفيق الذي يوصف المخلوق لا يوصف المخلوق به تكون مع الفعل. وأما الاستطاعة من جهة الصحة والوسع والتمكين وسلامة الآيات فهي قبل الفعل وبها يتعلق الخطاب. Did you understand anything? You are Arabic speaker.
Not much, no.
I don't like the complicated words. I like to stick myself to Rasulullah's way, who is given the small words and the comprehensive meaning. Very clear. This is the significant speciality of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah specialized him with this. أُوتِيَ جَوَامِعَ الْكَلِمِ. He was given the comprehensive words in small. Sometimes one or two words. Check. How many books were written just to explain one hadith? إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Verily, intentions are judged by deeds. A lot of books just to explain this hadith. How great is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's talking about ability. Is it of the power of man? He's saying the capability which makes an action certain to occur cannot be ascribed to a created being. For this capability is integral with action. Whereas the capacity of an action in terms of health, capacity, poise, and means exists in a person before the action. It is upon this that determines obligations, as Allah is exalted says, Allah doesn't charge a person except according to his ability. I mean, I understood the ayah, it's very clear, but before that, no. Did you understand, oh people of English, did you understand what he was saying? I will symbolize it in 2 words, inshallah. Istita'a, capability, is the power that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave man. Okay? We have capability. It is of 2 categories. First, it is a capability that the person can do, okay, which the do's and the don'ts, though they are fit to it. Second capability that a person can do when he execute the command. Give you an example. Allah said, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ لِمَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ, yani it is incumbent upon people, to Allah, for Allah, that they perform Hajj for the one who is able to do. Someone may do some difficult things. He can go and make Hajj, but with difficulty. But Allah in this ayah wants you to do Hajj with ability, not with difficulty. For example, a person vowed to perform Hajj by walking. And the Prophet saw him while he is exhausted like this. The Prophet said, why? What's wrong with him? They said he vowed to go to Hajj while walking, not using cattle or anything. He said, let him ride his cattle and perform Hajj. Or his wife, I think Zainab, the Prophet saw her standing tired, and she was hanged with 2 ropes. She was standing at night, but she was fearing that she may fall down because she gets sleepy, she gets tired. So she was using 2 ropes to be hanged with, lest she fall. So the Prophet said, don't do that. Don't suffer yourselves. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. Fear Allah as much as you can. In another ayah, Allah does not put a burden over you by what you cannot bear. No. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. This is the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now let me explain to you, someone who may do things while it's difficult, he has the ability, but he shouldn't be doing this. 3 persons entered the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They were detecting, asking about his way of worship. Then they said, that's all? That's all the Prophet did? They belittled it. One of them said, as for me, I pray and I don't sleep. The other one said, I fast and I don't break. The other one said, I do not marry women. In another hadith in Sahih Muslim, I do not eat the flesh, the meat. So the Prophet ﷺ went out of his room, criticizing them for what they said. He said, with his beautiful way of disciplining, what is the matter with people? And this has a great lesson. You know, sometimes a person make a mistake, for example, like you, for example, and I say, you should not do that. That's not a good way of disciplining. If I saw you making a mistake, I should be, what's wrong with some people doing this? Who taught me this way? The Prophet ﷺ. You should know. Some people, they may become rough and tough while they don't realize it. They should learn the softness and the technical way of adab of Rasulullah ﷺ. The one who Allah said to him, وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَظًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ. If you were blunt, hard, with solid heart, لَمْ فَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ. They'll be fleeing away from you. But you are the Prophet, even though. How much more for those who are not Prophet people? They think as long as they have the money, people will be remaining. Who told you? Who told you? No matter what you are, wallahi, if you are a hard person, blunt, someday they will be fleeing away from you, no matter who you are. Because Allah said that about Prophet ﷺ, Muhammad, whom everybody in this ummah, if you ask him his wish, I wish to see him. I wish to be with him. That's my wish. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant this to me and to you, to be with the Prophet ﷺ. So the Prophet said, what is the matter with people who say so and so? Wallahi, I am Rasulullah, and I marry a woman, and I sleep and pray, and I fast and break. Whoever turn away from my sunnah, this is my sunnah. If anyone turn away from me, he is not of me. So this is what people are able to do more than what Allah told them. But Allah doesn't want them to do that. That's why there's a big mistake, not big mistake, astaghfirullah. There's a mistake that Tahawyah said. He said, وَلَمْ يُكَلِّفْهُمُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا مَا يَطِيقُونَ وَلَا يُطِيقُونَ إِلَّا مَا كَلَّفَهُمْ. Allah will not put the burden on them, something that they cannot bear, and they do not bear except what Allah ordered them. No, some people, they do more than that. And this is a mistake of them. So that means people have extra power to do, but Allah said, don't do. You know why? I'll end this with this hadith. Abdullah ibn Amr. His father is who? Amr ibn al-As, whom the Shia hate too much. We'll see where they will be and where he will be. Amr ibn al-As, he managed a daughter for his son, so he married her. Then afterwards he visited his son's house, and he said to the wife of his son, how did you find our son Abdullah? Look at the adab of these women. She said, هو بخير ولكن لم يطأ لنا فراشا. She said, he is good, but he did not step on his bed until now. Look at the expression. He did not make any step on his bed for us until now. You know what it means? Did you understand that? Yeah, he did not intercourse with his wife until now. What's the matter? Is he impotent? Is he disabled? What's his problem? What is his problem?
He's praying too much.
Praying too much, spending the night. Allahu Akbar. When they tasted, they got stuck. The Prophet afterwards, he had to persuade them to stop the worship. It's a taste that they tasted. So yesterday we were talking about what? The tasting of salah, khushu'. Then after another week, he passed by the house of his son, asking his wife the same question. How did he find Abdullah? She said, he's good. But he did not touch his bed until now, his bed. And it's an expression, it's understood now. So he went and complained his son to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Prophet called Abdullah to come. He said to him, "Oh Abdullah, didn't I hear that you spend the night praying without stopping, fasting without breaking?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Don't do. Fast 3 days in the month." Abdullah said, "Oh Prophet, I can do more than that." He said, "Fast a week in the month." He said, "Oh Rasulullah, I can do more than that." He said, "Fast a day and break another day." He said, "Oh Prophet, I can do more than that." The Prophet said there is nothing better than that. This is the fasting of Dawood. He used to be fasting a day, breaking a day, fleeing not when facing the enemies. That means in war. This makes it, see, this is great. What does this mean to you? It meant that when you make right on you, which Allah did not order you, you may be negligent to some other rights. That means facing the kuffar, making jihad. Or if you keep praying at night, you may at the last moment, just half an hour before Salatul Fajr, you may get exhausted and then you'll be losing Salatul Fajr. Or if you sleep, if you kept praying, you'll be negligent with the right of your wife. That's why the Prophet said, "Inna li ahlika alayka haqqa." There's a right for your family are incumbent upon you. وَإِنَّ لِضَيْفِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقًّا وَإِنَّ لِوَلَدِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقًّا. Your wife has rights upon you. Your children have rights upon you. Your guests have rights upon you. After a period of time, couple of years, Abdullah bin Amr became very tired. And he started to stop the qiyam and the siyam. And he was blaming himself, saying, I wish I should have taken the license that the Prophet gave me. So this shows sometimes people can do something more the burden Allah put on them, but it will not be good for them. They're going to be indulgent or negligent. There will be shortness regarding other rights. Okay, so this statement of Tahawyah is wrong, is a mistake, and not me who said that. Sheikh Al-Fawzan, when he passed by this statement, he said this is wrong. That's it. That's all. Barakallah feekum. That will be last, inshallah, episode about Tahawyah, and by this we have made 28 sessions of explaining Tahawyah, and I'm very proud of this. And I want one thing. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward me for that. And because what will be kept for you is beneficial knowledge. As long as people get benefited after your death from the knowledge you gave, you'll be having credits of reward even if you are in your grave. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.